Hello and welcome to another beautiful episode of Softline. I am Nancy Vanigo and today I'll be having this show, this stage, all to myself and my guests. I know Eddie Young's Funky Mama's fan, they'll be missing her today, but unfortunately Funky Mama is not coming today. She will be joining us probably tomorrow. But don't worry, I promise it's going to be a very interesting outing. That is a promise. So let me start today's discussion with a question for you. Have you ever given or received the silent treatment in a relationship? How did it make you feel? And do you think it helped resolve the issue or created more tension? When words become weapons, silence can be a refuge. But in marriage, the silent treatment can be a double-edged sword. You know, it is temporary, it could be a temporary truce or a toxic trap. Let's explore the complexity of silence in relationship and uncover the truth behind this often misunderstanding phenomenon. You know, it's a misunderstood, not misunderstanding, it's a misunderstood phenomenon. Some persons say, yeah, it can be active, sometimes it can help you, sometimes it can lead to a bigger problem. So joining me to have this conversation today to tell us if it's a good thing or a bad thing is Dr. Mfon Ineme. But he's not here, but he's on his way. But it's going to be a very interesting conversation, I must tell you. And if you would like to join us for this conversation today, just give us a call and tell us if this, what they call it, silent treatment is your go-to weapon, or you've been dished with this kind of problem, the silent treatment thing. You just give us a call and let us know. So the numbers to call are 0911 209 7653. And then the second number is 091 36275 481. The numbers will be on the screen, so do well to call us in the course of the program. We'll go on a very short break to usher our guest in, and we'll be right back. Just a little break. Stay with us. All right, thanks for being there. So our guest has just joined us, Dr. Mfon Ineme. Doctor, you're welcome to the show.
My pleasure, once again. It has been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. So today's discussion, a wonderful one. Silent treatment in marriage. Is it a path to peace or a recipe for ruin?
Wow.
We'll get to know today. Doctor, I don't know. It's a very common scene where you maybe in the traffic, you know, you get to see a couple in a car. You see the man looking east, looking at the other. You see the wife looking at
the west.
you know, where there are a lot of things that could engage themselves, talking and discussing, but you just see them quiet like that, looking all angry and all that, you know. So some persons say this silent treatment is their go-to weapon, like, you know, each time they are being misunderstood or they'll just
the best to do is to keep quiet.
So let's just start like this. Why is it that we have this kind of treatment in the marriage?
Well, we call it treatment today. Is it treatment? Okay,
silent treatment.
Let's look at the treatment.
Okay.
Is it curative? Is it punitive? No. Let's get a bit more serious with it. Now, silent treatment. Has it been like that ab initio? Was it like that? Is that the way you started? Is that your partner is an introvert, and so he doesn't talk, so you understand that is how he is or she is. But so ab initio, that's how it has been. Before anything happens, she has been like that, he has been like that. So, so you are used to it.
Like people who are introverted, right?
Who are introverted, they may not talk so much.
Okay.
However, when it becomes a deviation from the normal behavior, that's when it becomes a concern.
Yeah.
Is it because I've offended you that you don't talk to me in the past? Some have had clients that tell me my husband does not talk to me in the past 1 week, the past 2 weeks, the past 1 month. He has not spoken to me. Then you wonder, how do they live? How do they survive? The other one said, all we do is to send text. They send text. You send text to me. You have sent money. I have sent money to you. Check your account. Go and buy food and all of that. So we don't talk. But there's a case I know that up to 3 years, 4 years, they never talk to each other.
And they stay in the same house.
The same house, in their respective rooms. They communicate with text messages or drop a note for each other. and walk away. They're still, if they have occasions outside, they go together.
Oh.
Yes, that one they don't miss.
No, they put up a show.
That camouflage, that pretense, you know, that there's some English word I'm looking for. That kind of deceit. That the world thinks, oh, is well, but you know it is not.
Yeah.
Now, some people think is a crisis management technique.
Yeah.
Crisis management technique, that if I talk, my wife will talk so much, so I choose to keep quiet. Let her talk and talk. When she's tired, she will keep quiet.
Okay.
Yeah. That if she talks and I talk, it will escalate. It will escalate. So let me keep quiet. Let me allow her to talk alone. And when she's tired of talking, she'll keep quiet. And then sometimes the question is, how long will this last? How long will this last? Because our elders said that when the handshake passes the elbow, it becomes another thing.
When the handshake passes the elbow.
When the handshake passes the elbow, it becomes another thing. Yeah. You need somebody shaking your hand, shake, and it passes this place.
Then attack. It becomes an attack. It becomes an attack.
If you say, okay, let me keep quiet because I don't want the thing to escalate, and then you keep quiet for so long, for 2 days, 3 days, 5 days, 10 days, 1 month, because you don't want her to talk. I think that becomes another thing. It becomes another thing. And now, so we need to look at what can make somebody keep quiet.
Okay. Before you talk about what can make, you know, you said something that if ab initio there was, this is your character. Right?
Yeah, that's your personality. That's how it is.
Yeah, we know people who are introverted. Some people who stammers, you know, so they find it difficult to talk, right? But even in that situation, we know they have this urge to talk, but probably circumstance, you know. So it's a different case that, okay, you are keeping quiet because you don't talk much. And the keeping quiet that somebody offended you or there was an issue and you kept quiet, you kept quiet, you know. So we just had to, so some of the reasons you just mentioned now, but are they helpful? Are they, those reasons you mentioned now, are they genuine enough, you know, for couples to, you know, begin this kind of treatment?
Well, there's actually no justification for that treatment.
Okay.
There's no justification for that treatment. No matter how you look at it, there will be nothing that will make it right.
Yeah.
That you keep, I wanted to keep malice. I don't know whether I'm right. Because
keeping malice.
Because if you don't talk, it's like you are keeping malice with your own spouse, with somebody you choose to marry. You know, whatever the reason you're going to give is, if you ask me, it's not right at all. Okay. It is proper that you communicate. Let's even look at how we start relationships. Let's look at how we start marriages. Okay. It's by communication. It's by communicating with each other. Why is it that suddenly when you have gotten into the relationship, now silence becomes the best treatment? If you are used silence, you couldn't have gotten this girl, you couldn't have gotten this guy. There was some interaction between you and this person. That's how you started the relationship. And if we want to have a good relationship, one of the things we need to do in marriage is maintain the tempo with which you started it.
Is that even possible?
It is possible, but it's difficult. It's difficult, but not impossible.
Okay.
Difficult, but not impossible. You can maintain that tempo. And I tell you, those who can do that are the people that will tell you, my marriage is so sweet, I don't have problem with my spouse, I don't quarrel, we don't quarrel. Okay. But those who cannot maintain are those that will tell you, no, you must quarrel with each other. Okay. You must have conflict. The conflict is inevitable in relationship. Conflict, you must always fight with each other. Which I keep saying everywhere in the world, it's not true. Oh. It's not true. Conflict is not inevitable. It's just because we are helpless, we have accepted it. It's not inevitable. It's avoidable.
Yeah, okay. That's
it's
the right
avoidable.
word.
You can avoid it. You can avoid it. Some things we quarrel with each other in relationship are things we could have avoided.
Okay.
Or we could have managed without quarreling. Without conflicting. You could still have handled that situation without conflicting with each other.
Okay.
Some other person has got, I can tell you, some other person has got that same condition or even worse. And they don't quarrel with, they manage it. Quarrel must not always be a solution. You know, in our place, there's an adage that if two pots stay together, they must scrub each other. Oh. That's the justification that they use here in Ibibio to quarrel with. That whenever you put two pots, you know, the native pots together, that they must always scrub each other. Yeah. So that shows the inevitability of quarrel or conflicts in relationship. It's not, I don't believe it, I don't accept it. If you're quarreling with your spouse, it's a choice. For me, quarrel or conflict is a choice. It is avoidable. It is not inevitable. It is what you choose to. It's a choice. You choose to quarrel. You can choose not to quarrel.
But if you choose not to quarrel, then...
And the other partner should also choose not to quarrel.
Yeah. And then, no, because you just said, okay, you can choose not to quarrel.
Yeah.
Now, some persons will tell you, okay, choosing not to quarrel is going mute.
No, it's not going mute. Now, you offend your spouse, you say, okay, darling, I don't like what you do. And she said, oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
You move on. Do you quarrel at that point? You don't quarrel, you move on. And he tries his best to stop that thing that you tell him you didn't like. That's how you to move on in relationship, in marriage in particular. Okay, I don't like what you do. Don't keep this cup at this place. Okay, I'm sorry I kept it. I won't keep it again next time. And he avoids it. So then what will bring the quarrel?
So as a psychologist now, let's talk a bit about the effect of this silent treatment to both the giver and the receiver.
One is that for the let's even start from the angle of the giver.
Okay.
You are bottling something. You are bottling some emotions that you could have expressed in communication. You could have expressed. You're bottling, and so it's going to affect your mental health. Definitely, it will affect your mental health. Number two, you're keeping malice with your spouse. It doesn't sound good now. Number three, your children are watching if you have children. You know, some children are very smart. They're looking at you. And they're learning from you how to marry. You know, we don't go to school there. I'm not sure there's a university of marriage. That somebody goes to do marriage, you go and learn. No. We copy from our parents. So children are looking at you. They're looking at you. And on the part of the other partner, of the receiver, sometimes he gets confused. As to what should I do, or what have I done, or what should I do next to make sure this person is happy with me. Okay, there are some people that tell you, if I'm angry, don't even apologize. But the apology angers me the more. I say, that if somebody tells me I'm sorry, it provokes me the more. To me, that's not a normal behavior. I'm sorry should have brought down anger. But if you belong to a group that when somebody tells you I'm angry, become more aggressive, become more angry, then there's something wrong somewhere. You need to come for therapy. You need to come. There's something wrong somewhere. There's this level of anger or aggression that you need to be taught how to manage. Because I am sorry, naturally, every culture should bring down anger. I've seen people that say, if she tells me I'm sorry, the thing angers me the more. Okay, I should be left to myself. The anger will go down on its own.
Yeah, but you know, right. I know psychologists. They have answers to many behaviors we exhibit, but whether knowing or unknowingly. Now, somebody who says he doesn't want to be told sorry, could there be an underlining? You know,
it's most likely that there is some personality disorders or problems somewhere. He belongs to a personality trait or he has a personality trait that does not take that kind of a treatment, that feels
doesn't trust
that
people.
Doesn't trust, no problem that trusting, that looks down on others. Most likely someone that looks down on others. He sees you as not being good enough for anything. So just go away. We'll take care of myself when I'm okay. Okay, I will take care of myself when the anger will go down on its own. And watch out to come up again. That anger that he avoids saying I'm sorry, that he doesn't accept I'm sorry for, that anger will come up not very long again. They keep coming and going, keep coming and
but
going.
Is one permitted, like, to show this silent treatment sometimes in a relationship?
Who will permit him or her? Who will give the permission?
Like, you know, sometimes when things get some kind of, you know, tough like that, some silent treatments
we
solve, because we are only looking at the negative side of it. Is it possible to have a positive side
Fine. Too? You know your spouse over time. Is it that when you keep silent, it will cure the problem? Does it resolve the matter? Does it end that problem? Fine, if it does. So once in a while you may apply, since that is the way it works in your relationship. If that's how it works. But I can tell you that on the general note, it's not the best treatment.
And especially if it goes on for a long time, like the long-term consequences of it.
Because any problem that is not settled, naturally, you know, problem starts, it escalates, and then it ferments. Problem has 3 stages. The initial stage, there's a escalation stage, then the fermentation stage. Now, when it ferments, it goes out of hand. Sometimes you allow it to escalate. It keeps escalating. It keeps going on. you keep sometimes ego. This one feels this one should go and talk first. This one should go and talk first. This one should go and apologize. This one should go and apologize. After all, you were the one that offended me. After all, I didn't do wrong. Okay, after all, two of us are wrong in this matter. Somebody must initiate the communication first. Somebody must initiate it, and I'm not going to be the one. You must be the one. This one feels you must be the one. So in that course of you must be the one, you must be the one. It's escalating. It's assuming new dimensions. It's getting more momentum. It's getting larger in size. It's assuming more dimensions. Now, if nothing is done to take care of that silence or whatever the conflict was, when you get to a point of fermentation, it might be difficult to bring it down again. It might be difficult to bring it down. And that is when couples finally say, okay, let's go our separate ways. Or some will say, I have managed a case that the husband say, okay, let me rent house for my wife for 1 year. Let's live separately for 1 year. Then we come back after 1 year.
Oh.
Yes, I've had such a case before. That we are not compatible for now. Let her go and stay. Let her experience the other side of life without a man in her life for 1 year, for 12 months, and so on. Okay, yes. And then after that, we will come back. And you know, I thought it was a joke. I tried to see how to stop. They went ahead and did it. He went ahead and paid the house for the wife. The wife lived alone.
Seriously?
Yeah. She lived alone with the children. They had that, and they had very young children. They lived alone. Three of them, three children and the wife lived alone. But I think she couldn't stay here. He couldn't stay for 1 year. He couldn't stay for 1 year when he had to go and beg the woman to return. So that one said, no, my rent must finish. You know, I know she was just making money and gone now, but she too was hungry to go back anyway. So she just.
But are there kind of relationship styles or patterns that are prone to this silent treatment?
Well, it will be based on the personality of the parties concerned.
Okay. In
most cases. Now, there are persons like those who are introverted. Normally, they don't talk more. They will say a few things, then they will also come down.
Okay.
And then now, so for those ones, they may feel that silence is the best. Let me act instead of talking.
Okay.
Let me act.
Yeah.
Instead of talking.
Yeah.
Let me rather
Action.
act. Let me do action. Okay. Your husband feels you're offended. So you have offended him. Instead of you telling, okay, please, I'm sorry, I did this. You say, don't worry, let me repent. Let me start undoing what I did and make him angry. Maybe when he sees that I have changed, he will just know that is an apology. He will take the change for an apology. You know, let me start to change. It depends on the man, depends on the woman.
Okay.
It may work for some persons, but for some persons they demand that communication. And number two is that, another thing is that you don't even leave a gap for too long. Something can happen in between. Within that moment of silence, another relationship can start. Especially for the male folk. Somebody else may occupy him. Even for the woman, somebody else may occupy him. That moment of silence, somebody else may occupy. And that again boils down to what will happen at the end of the silence. By the time you come breaking the silence, the woman may have gone fine in another relationship. The man may have gone fine in another relationship. So it's always good not to leave that gap. You may be surprised at the outcome of that silence, of 1 week silence, that may have ruined your marriage almost totally. You have totally destroyed your relationship. That 1 week silence, that 1 month silence. And then, like I said, your children are looking at you. Okay? They're looking at you. You are teaching them how to marry. They're seeing that this is the best way to do. And then, number three is that sometimes you keep pretending, this pretense. Because sometimes when you pretend at home, like the one I was talking about, anytime they had any occasion outside, they go together, perfectly well together. They sit side by side. But you know that even when they sit side by side, they don't talk. Each person is manning his phone.
Yeah. The phone becomes your companion.
Going good. And then I keep asking questions. If phone did not come out, what would we have been? Because this phone has caused a lot of issues. Problems. It's as good as this. All of us have it. And it has so many advantages. So many advantages. But you notice that it's like we now have a companion, a ready companion, that if you have a problem with your spouse, the simple thing to do is to go to your phone. And then the question is, what are you doing with the phone at that time? God being your witness. What are you watching? What are you communicating? With whom are you communicating? With whom are you talking? Because you must be talking with someone, you must be communicating with somebody. Or are you browsing? Are you just browsing for things? Okay, then if you're just browsing, what is it that you're browsing for? What are you searching for? What are you surfing the net for? These are things. So no matter how you look at it, silence treatment in marriage is not the best way to do it. It's good to communicate. If you feel your spouse is this type that doesn't accept I'm sorry verbally, you can break the ice by sending a message. Start by breaking the ice, sending a message, apologizing. And then the question is, who should apologize?
That is where the problem is. Who will say sorry first?
Who will say sorry first?
Yeah, because I've seen or heard stories where it became a pattern. You know, the woman was complaining. I read a write-up. She said the husband can do something, and the moment she becomes angry or she complains, the man goes mute. And that gives her that silent treatment. He's not going to eat her food. He's not going to talk to her for days, you know. But as a woman now, she needed to, you know, console him and all that. She keeps breaking that thing, like keep going back to beg him. But it got to a point that she got tired of being the first person to apologize or to start talking, even when she's not the one in the wrong. So she decided to like flow with the rhythm. And that is how they live now. In fact, she said now it's even so sweet that, you know, she has gotten so used to that silence that she doesn't, you know, just say your own.
It's okay. Like how long do they say? One episode of silence, how long does it last?
I don't know, but she said for weeks. She mentioned weeks, yeah.
But you know, like I said, she's bottling something. She's bottling some emotions.
But but just look at her own side of the story.
No, I accept with that too, to a point, to a reasonable reason, yes. But I'm also saying that it's not the best. It's not the best.
So for how long will she keep apologizing?
Well, as long as she's able to apologize.
Wow.
Now she's able to apologize. But then I think it's also an opportunity to tell the men folk. I mean, it doesn't take anything from a man to tell his wife, I am sorry. It doesn't take anything. As we do that, I do that. Many people do that. I mean, if your wife feels you have wronged her, even when you think you are not wrong. Because sometimes we feel we are not wrong, but your spouse feels she's wrong. Also, you are wrong.
Yeah, you've wronged her.
You wronged her, so you apologize. The relationship moves on. It doesn't scratch you at all to tell your husband or to tell your spouse, "I am sorry." I mean the man or the woman. It doesn't take anything. I've also had a few cases where the woman says, "I can never," you know. One even told me that. One even told me that the mother never told her father.
Sorry.
You know, sorry. So how will I say it? So let's move on. But anytime I catch him with another woman, he will know me. Okay? Okay, you know, that kind of a thing.
Yeah.
He will know me, you know.
All right.
Yeah, so I think generally that silence treatment in marriage is not a very good treatment.
All right. Let's go on a very short break to give our guests a little breather. We'll be right back. Stay with us. All right, thanks for being there. So we are still discussing silent treatment in marriage. Is it a good thing or a bad thing? But so far, our guest has not said anything good about this silent treatment. He's a no for this silent treatment. Even though some persons might argue that sometimes, just sometimes, once in a while, you're permitted to just, just give that little silent treatment. We just want to show ourselves.
And my question is, how long will it last?
How long will it last? All right, let's take some few text messages. We might be able to get a different perspectives from this tweet. Okay, so our first tweet here says is from Zuleika, and it says marriage has taught me that silent treatment makes things worse. Many times, what you are mad about might not be so significant, and the other person didn't see it the way you are seeing it. You are just there hurting yourself while your partner is confused or even aggrieved too. Okay? And then please speak out when something hurts you. Communicate. The other person is neither a magician nor a mind reader. Okay, so this one from Solomon Bucci. It says, if your significant other ghosts you and treats you with silent treatment when there is a conflict, you have an enemy, not a partner. Being a real partner encompasses the ability to be kind even during fights. Silent treatment is highly traumatizing. It solves nothing. It makes matters worse, breeds more resentment, stifles intimacy. Okay. And then this one says, I believe that if partners calm down, communicate, and then listen to each other, a lot of misunderstandings will be avoided. But some just don't want to listen. Some want to raise their voices. Some want to be mean. Calm down, take a deep breath, and listen to each other. Okay, so that's all the text, the tweets we have here. But let's take this one from Bucci. He said something about if you have a partner who ghosts you, who gives you the silent treatment, then you are staying with an enemy, not a friend.
Well, while I wouldn't think he has taken to extreme by calling him enemy.
Okay.
He looks like an enemy anyway, but he looks like he's going to extremes. Calling him or calling he or she enemy. But whatever the case is, it's better to say it out.
Yeah. Communicate.
But I think that one of the major causes that I think we need to stress in this program today is that sometimes you try to communicate, the other person is unwilling to communicate, to respond, to reciprocate. You're doing your best to say, okay, sorry, I did this, I'm sorry, okay, let's do it. He's still keeping silent. Okay. And some people will dress up and go out. Some will dress up and go out. Especially your men. Go out, look for somewhere and drink, and then come back. We call it temporary escape in psychology.
Temporary escape.
Temporary escape. You temporarily escape the conflict in the house by going to somewhere to drink. And then, you know, and each I teach the marriage up to this one, I say, when you leave your house to go and drink, the problem will leave the parlor and wait for you in the bedroom.
When you come back, you still be there. All right, okay. So please don't forget to keep trying. I see there's a network problem, but keep trying. We would like to hear from you. Okay. Whether you have a question or something you want to talk to us about silent treatment in marriage, we are all eager to hear from you. All right, Doctor, continue.
So if the person says, each time you communicate, let me just keep quiet. Let me go and drink. By the time I come back, everything will settle. No, you can't preserve relationship in alcohol. Relationships are not preserved in alcohol. No, it's not. But I was speaking somewhere, and one woman said, if you don't quarrel, if you don't do like that, your husband will not take you out. I said, so is it this thing? Is it until you do like this, your husband takes you out, then there's something wrong with the relationship? Both of you should come for intervention. Okay? If you can only take your wife out when there is a conflict, at the end of a conflict, no. Or at the end of, you keep quiet, you keep silence. Okay, your husband will say, okay, don't be angry. Okay.
All right, Doctor, we have a call from Uyo. Ahmed is calling us from Uyo. Hello, Ahmed. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon and welcome to the show.
This silent treatment.
What did you say?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, I'm saying that silent treatment has both negative and positive impact. However, I want the producer, the expert on the clinical issue, to really explain to us whether this silent treatment pays. Because from little experience I have, sometimes, yes, it's a measure to measure how much the other partner can withstand some pressure. And I also agree with him that the person that really apologizes first during an argument with a couple is the real winner of that, whatever the quarrel is. Because the two parties are fighting or are quarreling not because there is a the two believe that they are right. In other words, the two believe they are right.
Okay.
So the first person that apologizes is normally the best person. So the other party looks at him as if won the argument.
Okay.
So sometimes the female normally is the one that really should come down because
And to argue, to apologize.
Female in the house. Let's put it that way. So I
Alright.
want the expert to really come out and tell us whether this silent treatment is actually positive or negative in a family.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much for calling, Ahmed. All right, sir.
Whether it's positive or negative.
Positive or negative.
Well, for me,
But remember, don't forget, he said sometimes you apply it to know how much the other person can take.
can take. Well, is your wife or your husband your student? Are you teaching him? You're not. You know, I like to say that maybe for us who are Christians, the Bible does not teach us how to discipline our spouses.
Okay.
The Bible does not teach us how to discipline. The Bible does taught us how to discipline our children, not how to discipline our spouses. You won't see it anywhere in the scriptures. Okay? If you want your wife to be able to withstand pressure, there are other ways to do it, not by silent treatment.
Okay.
What if she makes more mistakes? Because she keeps silent, she makes more mistakes. She makes a grievous mistake, a vital mistake that tempers with the family seriously. Okay, I think you can teach her how to withstand treatment by communicating pressure, by communicating with her, you know, and not just making her or making him look like a fool, and then you want to see whether she can be strong.
But wait, doctor, you know, I know you lecture, so you have students. Now, if you have a student that you have been, you know, trying to correct several times, you try, and that student keeps making that same mistake again, will you keep doing it, or you will just allow that? Just keep quiet for some time.
Really? Well, if you keep quiet, that's for a student, but for a spouse.
Okay.
It's not, the student-teacher relationship is not as a husband
and wife relationship.
They're not the same relationship. So you don't treat your wife as your student. It's not the best way to treat a spouse. So I wouldn't really encourage that that we look at it from that angle.
Okay.
If you want your wife to know how to how do you call it? You want your wife to know how to withstand pressure. There are many ways to.
Okay, so now tell us, what are better ways couples can communicate?
Good. Whenever there is an issue, the other one does what you think you don't like, tell him or her in a very polite manner, a very empathetic manner.
Okay.
I don't like what you do. Okay. Maybe she might repeat it. Because some of the mistakes that people make in relationships is because of their personality. I keep saying that. That's how they are. So they keep repeating. And some of them have been behaving that way for a long time. It was convenient for her in her family, or maybe she lived alone. The way she behaved was okay for her. Here she finds herself in a new environment, a new relationship that does not tolerate that. Now, you keep pushing to a point that after some time she realized, but note that it's not going to happen in one day, that she quickly says, okay, I have repented. She might change, but it may be a gradual thing. And once in a while, she might relapse into that same condition. You keep pampering, you keep teaching, you keep coming up, you keep talking about it, you keep expressing your displeasure, but in a polite and loving manner.
Okay, so is it only communicating? Is it only talking?
No, I'm coming. That's one. One is verbal communication.
Okay.
Two is by written communication. You can send a note. Thank God for Jason. You can send a note. You can send WhatsApp message. You can send this. You can send that to show the person you know. But yet, it must be in a very polite. Either the husband is sending, wife is sending. There must be sufficient politeness in that message. You don't call her names. Like just few weeks or so ago, I saw a message the husband sent to a wife. I said, has it gotten to this? Okay, no, it doesn't. It shouldn't have been. No matter how angry you are, there's something you should not say to your spouse. Anger, well, we say anger is natural in man, but in anger, do not sin. Control for it. Another way you can also certainly communicate is by body language.
Okay.
By body language. I've mentioned verbal communication, written communication, then body language. You start making some younger for your husband, and you know what I mean now, man. Start making something and let him know that the thing has that you are no longer angry, you know, that you want him and all of that. Start showing a little, start doing something, let him understand you. That helps.
Okay.
So those 3 ways we can communicate.
Okay. All right. So when we have couples now that have, had this prolonged silent treatment, what way can you suggest for them to like come together, to solve that, that gap that has been created?
I organized one program for couples about 10 years ago, and I call it Back to Day One.
Back to Day One.
Yeah. We can do back to Day One. Just forgive each other, move on. Go back to how you used to see. When he used to visit you when you were not fully married, the kind of statement you used to send in those days, send that message. Call him those names. Swallow your pride. Swallow who you are. Swallow what you are. Forgive him, forgive her. Forgiveness is very important in marriage. Because once in a while, we keep offending our spouses. It happens once in a while. Sometimes very unintentionally. Okay. But the other person picks on it very seriously. To tell him, please, I'm sorry. He will tell you, hey, but you did it last time. You apologize. This time you do it, you apologize. In some cases, I have many cases that it becomes so severe that the wife cannot apologize again. He has to go and send somebody else to come and apologize on his behalf to the spouse. It's not the best anyway, but it has worked for some couples.
Okay.
That my husband is a tough man. Okay, let me go and tell his friend, one of his best friends, to please come and apologize on my behalf. Well, it's an extreme way to handle it. I wouldn't really encourage that.
Okay.
Your wife should be the best person that can calm you down in any situation. Your husband should be the best person that can calm you down in any situation. But if you allow your relationship, I wanted to say, to deteriorate to a point that another person now has to be the one, to be, well, it's okay. I have done that for a few couples, and then, but I still feel that for me, it's to teach you the principle, the techniques to apologize to your husband, to apologize to your wife. And then we should also be willing to accept I'm sorry. Be willing to accept I am sorry. Be willing to accept apologies. That's what I mean there. Be willing to accept apologies. There's some people that find it difficult to accept apologies. No, they say, oh no, the pastor must say this. No, my father must say this. I must go and report in my village. No, this thing, no one does this in my family. You must go and report my... No. It's not the best. The people you want to take it to may also have their own issues. Okay? Yours may even be a lighter issue anyway. And the person chairing the panel to now look at your case may even have a worse case than yours. But he's managing his own in his house. And here you are bringing your own to the family. You go, or because no one does it in my family, so my wife has done it, so I must go and report. Sometimes I've had a case that you apologize, the wife apologized. I've seen a few cases, the wife knelt down and held the leg, cried. He said he must report to his elder brother. He must report to his elder. Why now? Why now? What did she, even if she committed the worst sin anybody can think of in life, but she has apologized. I think we should learn to accept apologies. Not just the wife, but both should learn to accept apologies.
Okay, so what is the place of therapy now, in solving this kind of issue?
The place of therapy is when two of them cannot handle it.
Okay.
I encourage third party in marriage. Okay. Seriously encourage third party in marriage. Where you cannot handle it, don't keep it alone, and then you die in silence. Some young people we have married, we could have salvaged those situations if they had mentioned them early enough. But they say, no, don't say it. It's a family thing. No, I say no. When you get to a point you can no longer manage, tell someone you can trust. Look for a therapist. Look for a marriage counselor. A good one anyway. Not the one that will come and add salt to injury for you. We can add heat to pain. No. Look for someone that you can trust, that can talk to. Okay, this is what I'm going through. And the person can manage the thing for you. Can manage the relationship for you, can manage the conflicts for you, can manage the quarrel in such a way that you get a result at the end of the day. Not someone that will come and help you widen the gap between you and your spouse in the name of counseling. They come and counsel, instead of counseling, they come and counsel the whole thing. No, you can contact somebody. Always, the place of therapy is when you cannot handle it again, two of you, consult somebody. Don't die in silence. Don't keep it.
Well, I like your perspective, seriously. But I know I have cancelled a relationship because of this silent treatment.
Yeah.
You know, during courtship, any small thing for week,
For we
for like
won't
1
talk.
week.
No, that
he
one
will
is a
not
red
pick
flag
up.
now.
So it's a red flag. I have to
it's
say
a red
no.
flag.
This one will kill somebody in
No,
the
that
house.
one is a red flag.
You understand?
It's most likely going to be like that. In fact, that one for me, I've had such a case, and I keep telling girls, what you see now is most likely what you see tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's not likely to change
When you enter the
speed.
marriage. No.
Okay? People don't repent like that because it's a sickness, so to speak. It's a disease condition. It's like you having stomach ache. When stomach ache wants to go, it will come. There's nothing you can do. It will come until you take drug to go and cure you or do whatever thing you do to cure you. So please, if you have seen it in the course of courtship, in the course of relating before you formalize the relationship, I think the best to do is give him 1 or 2 trials and then quit. 1 or 2 times, and it's like that. Just quit. Or make up your mind that that's what you will be seeing. You can tolerate it. I leave it for you.
Okay.
And if you know you can tolerate it, fine.
Okay, so if that is an option now,
Yeah.
because I've been waiting for you to come with an option.
Okay, no.
Now that you've given us that option, we know, of course, you did. Okay, now tell us, if it becomes inevitable, like you just have to get married to this person, what advice would you give to that spouse?
What makes it inevitable to
No,
them?
let's say, okay, you know, sometimes they say marriage, you cannot have someone who is complete. So how about this person has all these other qualities you've been looking for?
Except
It's
one.
just this silent treatment thing. What advice can you give to such a person?
Better. Good. Sweet. Now, what is the value? What is the premium you pay to that silence treatment? How does it pain you?
Okay.
The person may be quite nice. A person when he's nice, quite okay, gives you money, gives you everything. But when he's silent, when you offend him a little, he's so silent for weeks, for months. How does it? I hope that this pain you are going through because of the silence does not overshadow all the good things. Is not weightier, that the preponderance of the silence has not become greater than all the good things he has done for you, or you think he's able to do. It varies within the. There are some persons that will say, okay, since he's so good, he's rich, he has money, let me eat the money and bear the silence. If you can cope. But I don't think most girls most women that I know lack communication. They like dynamic relationships. They like relationship that is talking, that is working, not the one that no matter how much you give him or give her, she wants you. She wants your voice, isn't it? Am I talking? Tell me, God bless you now.
Yeah, God bless you.
They want that. And so if you're a man that when you have a little conflict, 1 week, you don't pick calls, okay? You don't communicate. You don't send text messages. For me, I've handled such a case. Not one, not two, not three.
Seriously?
Yes. I have my point has always been that's how he will be. He's not going to be in a haste to change. All other qualities that you think are good in him, that he possesses and are good, I hope this one thing that is, they will always tell us that you won't see a perfect person. If you see somebody like this, maybe 60% what you want, you can go and make up the other 40%. Now, and I say, that 40% remaining, your ability to tolerate that 40% will depend on the value you attach to the remaining 40.
Yeah.
If that 40 is what will take your neck, which will kill you, is what will end your life, do you still go on with it? They say, this man is good. In fact, sometimes your friends who know him will tell you, go. If I were you, I would have gone. This man is this man is that. He's so good, he's so nice. Just don't worry. You won't find a perfect man. There's no perfect. I'm not perfect. Nobody is perfect. But at the same time, that one thing remaining, that even if the person is 90% what you wanted, and remaining 10%, let's be that 10% remaining will not become more preponderant than the other 90%. The other 90%.
Because when he does that one, you forget all the other good things he has done.
The weight of that one supersedes, overcomes, overshadows, weighs away totally the other 90% that you thought you had. Okay? I mean, I've had a relationship, I've had to manage some relationship from the beginning that the guy keeps beating the girl. Keeps beating. I mean, but when he's kind, he's so kind. Even after beating, he will send her money. And I tell her, no problem, go ahead. I'm the last person that will tell you not to marry. but he won't kill you one day. He won't beat you one day and you die, and you use the same money to buy a coffin for you. Because if you are not yet married and he's beating you,
then what happens when you get
he has not paid anything on your head yet, so he's beating you. So just make up your mind that the day he is able to formalize this relationship, just get ready for
more beating.
Just make up your mind. Beating. Okay, so it depends on the remaining part. That silence, to some persons it doesn't mean. I have had to manage a case like that. That one was because I met her, before I met her she was already married.
Okay.
And then when the husband is silent, she'll be crying. She will cook for the man does not eat. She will do the one. I told her, when you cook, he doesn't eat the food enough. Eat it well. Eat the food. If you cannot finish, cool it somewhere, tomorrow warm and eat. Yes. Because you keep making the man, please, okay, whatever it is, will kneel down, the man will push her aside, and he's like, at the point I felt he was enjoying
the whole attention he's getting from her. Yeah, that's another one.
Yeah. So,
some men might be, or some women might be enjoying the attention. The things you do to break the silence, that is the catch for them.
It's the catch. And then he pumps their ego, make them feel, I'm a guy in this place, Yeah, so after some time, he started eating the food.
Oh, he started?
He started eat the food. If she doesn't eat, eat. Make sure you eat and you're satisfied.
Thank you so much.
After some time, the man noticed that he didn't get the attention he got initially.
Oh.
So he started on doing some of those things.
Thank you so much, Doctor, for coming on the show today. It's always so nice having you on air.
My pleasure.
So as we conclude our discussion on the silent treatment in marriage, it's clear that silence can be both a refuge and a risk. By understanding the complexity of silence in relationship and exploring strategies for effective communication, we can work towards building a stronger, more resilient marriage. So thank you to our guest, Dr. Mfon Ineme, for his valuable insight and expertise. So let's continue with the conversation and work towards creating a more open, honest, and loving relationship. So from me and Doctor is bye-bye and thanks for watching.